Good morning. Come on up, Reverend Catherine. Come on up, Reverend Catherine. Welcome to our Wednesday morning service at the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. We welcome all of you who are watching on YouTube, as well as all of you who are in the sanctuary. Reverend Catherine's going to start us off.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I was running in, So we are going to open this wonderful time together in the sanctuary the way we often open everything, maybe all the time, open with an opening treatment, an invocation. I come into this moment with this serene sense of beauty and light. I know that the light shines all of the time, and allowing that light to shine through me is one of the reasons I come to this center. It's the reason that I sit in community. It is the reason that I go into prayer. I always want to be in that light of consciousness, not through some little pinhole piece of light. I want this widened lens of light that raises my awareness to the idea that God truly is all there is, and all of the implications that that belief has. I come to learn. I open to learn. And so I call on everyone to open hearts and minds and consciousness and the lens of light to allow all of the beauty, the truth, the messages that are prepared and filtered through the consciousness of each person, such that it's perfect for each person who hears, and listens, and processes in their own way. It is such a gift to be able to be here and to hear, whether you're online or in person, the beautiful messages that come from this place. And so in gratitude for so many, many things, but most especially for this center, for the joy, for the truth, for the love that comes through this place, I give great thanks. And I know that these words of truth are already done in the mind of God. As I release, allow it to be so and say, and so it is. Reverend Gregory has wanted all of our services for a bit to open with Ernest Holmes' prayer for our country. And it was written back around Korean War time, and so it was in the early 50s, and so it's really appropriate. And it's amazing how you hear the truths that come through, how timeless this prayer actually is. So here we go. Believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America, and in the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression, I offer this, my prayer for my country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, directing the thought and the activity of all who guide its affairs. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and are the divine heritage of everyone in this country. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of the people of this country, causing it to know that economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression. I know that no one can believe or be led to believe that freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security for all. The all-knowing mind of God contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader in this country is now directed to this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem, and each is compelled to act on this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. And I know this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. And so it is. Amen. It almost seems like a downer to go to announcements after that. But we're going to make this a wonderful series of announcements because we have really exciting and really wonderful things going on. There is a new date for our annual meeting. It is now April the 13th, and it's after service, so that's a Sunday. We have positions open on the Board of Trustees. If you are a member and are interested, please talk to Board President Mark Ruth. You will be asked to submit a one-page letter outlining your intentions and qualifications. Is anybody here even considering? Because this is about you. It is open to everyone. And we just talked about freedom and self-expression. We have a new day. Linda Gautier's painting workshop has been rescheduled. Stay tuned for the new date. Our men's spirit group will be meeting Monday, March 3rd. That's this coming Monday at 7 p.m. They meet out there in the foyer. We have a new day and time for our Labyrinth Walk. It will be the first Wednesday of each month after service, so that will be next Wednesday. So you can go from this service right into the Labyrinth Walk, and if you've never done it, what a great opportunity to do that. We see the flyer for Valerie Reeves' hypnosis class on March 7th and 8th. On March 9th, Sunday, following service at 12:30 p.m., our very own Reverend Gregory will lead a special teen workshop, Manifestation for Teens, tips on calling in your best life while honoring your emotions. If your teens have questions about how manifestation works with them, they won't want to miss this inspiring and insightful session. This is a free event, so this is following service on March the 9th. For a full list of activities, see the weekly e-newsletter, the Spirit Speaks magazine, and the activity table. There are handouts out there for many things, including the affirmations for the seasons for nonviolence, and the flyer about Bears for Love. Looking for a meaningful gift or a new read? Our bookstore is back. Stop and check all the wonderful things we have. We always take just a moment to thank the wonderful volunteers who actually are really the ones that make this center work really, really well. They're here and serve us in so many ways, from hospitality to the desk to the bookstore, and so many other things. There are people that I'm looking at in this room who are dedicated volunteers. And we and the center are very grateful for all that you do. So thank you very, very much. Our speaker today is the Reverend Gregory Toole. Welcome, Reverend Gregory.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, all of you. Good to see everyone. I love that. Do you see all these bears of love out there? Some of you are holding on to them even. It's amazing. We're like, I would say, it seems like almost every other seat has a bear of love. And those bears very soon, because we end that whole process at the end of February. So those bears very soon are going to make their way into the hands of children who were pulled away from their homes suddenly. So traumatic situations where they had to be, abuse and things like that. So these bears that we've been filling with all of our prayers and our singing and our love and everything we've been bringing here every Sunday for the last month, that these bears are going to have all that energy, and then they're going to go to these children in very difficult situations. So isn't that beautiful? Yeah, and thank you. And on Sunday, we'll actually do a little blessing over these. So we're going to really seal the deal with all that's been put forth into them. We're going to do a little blessing of these bears. And that will include you, by the way. It won't just be from up here. We're going to all put our, blessing on these bears formally, because we've been doing it for a whole month. But then we're going to formally put our blessing on these bears. Are you all with me in that? Yeah, because we know the power of love, right? We know the power of love, and love heals. So, today we're talking about peace. What's the exact topic? What's the exact topic? Let's not get too informal here. Keeping your peace, or holding your peace, right? In times of change. And when are there times of change, by the way? Always, right? Change is always happening. And can we hold our peace? And I get that from the scripture where Jesus essentially is being led down the path toward the crucifixion and kind of being put on trial. He's being asked questions, right? And they're saying so are you really saying you're the king of the Jews? Are you really saying you're this powerful being? Are you really saying that you are bringing these truths? And it's this moment for Jesus, right? And it says, and Jesus held his peace. And I just think that's the most beautiful phrase in a moment where everything is coming together for his crucifixion, right? But however, he knew that this was his destiny, right? He knew that this was his destiny. He knew that he was here to fulfill a prophecy that essentially, a lot of times we talk about Jesus, that he died for our sins, which, there's, I guess, some truth to that. But to me, it's like he died to prove all that he had taught, right? Because he had taught essentially that no one has power over us and no one can really do us wrong, right? He said, pray for those that despitefully use you, love those that hate you, love those that curse you, right? And his ending, so to speak, was, or his final act, if you will, here on earth really was to show that those teachings were really real. I can even give you my body. I can give you my body. You can take my body and you still will have taken nothing from me. Right? That's the ultimate in peace, when we realize that what is real can never be taken away from us. What is real can never be taken away from us. What is real is our essence, our soul, our beingness, our divinity. That's what's real. All the rest of this is just temporary and things we're experiencing here on this earth. So to me, it was the ultimate thing. And for him, in that moment when he's going toward this big thing, right? Even though Jesus is this enlightened being, there's still a human aspect of him, right? And so even though he's going toward this big destiny, right? He's going toward this big destiny. He's going to go get crucified, and he's going to come back and show that his teachings are real. So he's going to this big thing, and it says, and Jesus held his peace. I think it's an invitation for us to hold our peace regardless of what is happening in our lives, regardless of what is happening in the world, regardless of what is going on. Can it be we put your name in there and my name in there, and Gregory held his peace, right? And we've all had those moments, right? We've all had those moments where something is going on in our life that shakes us at our core. I don't know, I'm saying we all have. Has anyone not had one of those moments? Raise your hand if you've never had a moment that shook you at your core, right? Where your fears and your doubts all were coming rushing to the surface. And could it be in those moments that they would write that about us? That they would say, and David held his peace. I know David does. He holds his peace very well. You hold your peace very well. You move through this life holding your peace. And they say, and Beverly held her peace. And you do. You hold it very well. You move through this life with a smile and a knowing, right? Ernest Holmes said, to desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth, right? Because the hour of need is the greatest time to know the truth. The hour of need is the greatest time to practice the truth. It's the greatest time to know that God is all there is, right? Greatest time to know that everything is working together for my good and your good and all good and greater good. It's a great time to know our power. Never, ever shall we give up our power. Never, ever shall we begin to buy into an idea that we are powerless. We are so powerful. We always can do something. We always can bring more love. We always can bring more peace. We always can choose how we're going to look at any situation, right? There's what's going on. There's what's going on. And that's just what's going on. But then there's also what kind of story have we made up about what's going on? And I see that in the world today, right? There's things going on, right? Anyone notice there's things going on? There's always things going on, right? There's never a time when things aren't going on, right? But I notice a lot of story making about the things that are going on, right? That aren't fact-checked, aren't the reality. They're just things that people are making up to exacerbate the situations, right? Because maybe there is a real situation sometimes, right? Something that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be looked at, whatever. That's why we're here. We're here to notice what is ours to do, and there's things for us to do. So it's not to say that there's nothing to do and we should just be complacent all the time, but it's to say, are you adding to confusion? Are you adding to negativity by creating a whole story around what you see? There's what you see, and then it's like, oh, well, we make up a whole story about it. We even do that sometimes in spiritual community, in our families, and in our relationships, right? There's what we see, and then there's all these assumptions and things we make up about it. People come to me and they go, oh, I hear you, I see that you've done this, and now you've done this, and you've changed. And I'm like, no, I didn't do any of that. Like they'll see certain things that I say or do, and then they'll make up a whole story. And they'll be like, oh, I see that this is, no. Just come ask me. Don't make up a story. If you see something and you're not sure what's going on, like, come ask me. And ask each other. Let's ask and let's fact check. Let's look it up, right? Like the media loves to get us riled up, and I love the media, by the way. I'm not one to poo-poo the media. In a free society, we need the media. They are very important. So we have to be careful when we start really talking badly about the media. We need the media, and we have to know that they're human beings and they have their biases, and we have to sort of do our own checking on the media, right? We can't just accept whatever is being told to us. It's very interesting, though, when I see the various things that are being said in the media, the various things that are being said, like on social media. Everyone's like telling this story. So what I do, here's what I do. If someone says someone said this, and someone said that, and I go look up the video. I go and say, let me go watch the speech. Let me go watch what this person actually said. And I got to tell you, most of the time, it's not what the media or what the person on Facebook or Instagram is saying. So it makes it so much worse, and I watch the thing and I go, well, they never said any of that. There was a lot of assumptions. There was a lot of interpretations going on. So we start to exacerbate and we start to build things up in a greater way. So in holding our peace requires some wisdom, requires some being centered and not being in reactivity to everything that's going on. And then reactivity to the reactivity, right? Because you get on social media, and it's like you can get off of social media and be like, I'm mad. You weren't even mad before. You're like, well, I'm mad now. Because we bought into something that wasn't even true. If you read half of that stuff on social media where people are saying this happened and that happened and this is what they're doing and this is what this one's doing and then, all of that, And we get all riled up, only that if we would go and actually check it out ourselves, we would find out maybe there's some truth, right? Some of the things that are being said, that's okay, that really happened. Okay, now if I want to get upset, okay, at least get upset about what actually happened. But I'd say I haven't done the numbers. I'm just going to throw out a number. I'd say probably at least 50% of the time, we're getting upset. Ann says more. She's done have you run the numbers, Ann? I'd say at least 50% of the time, the things we're getting upset about aren't even real. They aren't even happening. So we have to use discernment, especially in these times that are so rapidly changing, and it's partly technology, right? We have access to information so quickly, right? The fact that, in the old days, when I grew up, you had to go watch the 6 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news or something like that. You had to wait, right? You had to sit there and go, okay, well, I'll watch the news at 6, or I'll get the newspaper in the morning, and by the time you got the newspaper, the news is already 24 hours old. You had to wait to see all that. Now, I can go right now, and I can go, okay, let me see what's happening right now. Someone gave a speech, okay, let me look up that speech right now. So things are moving very fast. There's a lot of information coming at us, and it requires us to be centered and grounded. It requires us to remember a greater truth. And one of the greatest truths that we can remember that will get us out of a lot of trouble, turmoil, get us out of so much. And it's the core truth of the teaching of science of mind. The core truth of the teaching of science of mind is oneness. Yes? Is that true? Yes. It is, right? The core teaching is oneness. The core teaching is that every person, every being is a divine expression of the one whole, perfect, complete life that is God. That will get us out of so much of our trouble. That will get us out of so much of our turmoil. Because the moment you begin to badmouth a person, the moment you begin to talk, oh, that person's evil, that person is this, all you have to do is remember that. Wait, hold it, I'm out of principle. God is all there is. Everyone is a divine expression of God. This is a divine expression of God right here. And the worst thing that you could truthfully say about a person, all the rest of the stuff we say, oh, that person is this, and all the rest of that's just stuff we made up. The worst you could really say about a person and still be in truth is, oh, they're not seeing the truth of who they are right now. They're not living the truth of who they are right now. They've moved into separation, right? And anyone who is harming others, we know that they're not in the truth of their being. But we don't have to be in such great judgment of that person. We can be in compassion with that person. If someone steps out of their nature of divinity, let's be in compassion. That's a sad thing. If you step out of your nature, I'm going to have compassion and love for you. I'm not going to be like, oh, you this and you that and you this. I'm going to be like, oh, you stepped out of your own nature of love and peace and wisdom and intelligence and beauty and awesomeness. So we can hold our peace more when we see things as they really are, which means we see the spiritual truth. We don't desert the truth. As Ernest Holmes said, we don't desert the truth in the hour of need. In the hour of need, we don't start blaming and shaming. And, one of the worst things when I teach conscious communication and conscious relationship, I say, one of the worst things you can be is? What's one of the worst things you can be? It's counterintuitive, by the way. Someone's probably has it though. What's one of the worst things you can be? Huh? Who said that? What did you say? Liar. Well, yeah, that's not good either. A liar, yeah, that's not cool. But probably everyone in here is a liar. Sorry. Probably everyone in here, before the week is out, has told several lies, even if it's just a lie of omission, right? It's something we did not say that is, we sort of hid a part of the reality, right? And I'm not making light of that. I understand what you're saying, It's like, I'm not too keen on liars, right? But at the same time, we have to be careful not to get into judgment, because pretty much everyone to some extent, because we're trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to look good. And in order to look good, sometimes we have to bend it a little bit. When you put that resume together, you don't tell everything about yourself. You tell, I did these great things, right? I'll tell you what I see is one of the worst things we can be, and it's counterintuitive. One of the worst things we can be is right. That's one of the worst things we can be, because when you're right, that justifies all kinds of bad behavior. Boy, when you think you're right, even if you go back to Nazi Germany, one of the worst things about Hitler is he thought he was right. He thought, I am right. I got the answer. I know I am right, and I'm doing the right thing. He didn't think he was doing something bad. He thought he was doing the right thing. That's one of the worst things we can be, is right, because we start to be righteous. So I see on social media oftentimes people are posting all kinds of ugly stuff, and the justification is, well, I'm right. I'm right. Therefore, I can post all kinds of derogatory things about these politicians and these other people. I mean, really nasty, mean stuff. But I'm right. So it's okay. It's okay for me to be mean and nasty and derogatory and demeaning, because I'm right. Isn't it obvious that I'm right? No, it's not obvious. Because there's a whole bunch of people who think totally differently, which means you're probably not right. You have a part of the truth, and they have a part of the truth, and that's where we find our peace. We find our peace within ourselves, and we find our peace with each other when we can realize everyone has a piece of the puzzle. When they describe 3 blind men describing an elephant, right? And one of the blind men is feeling the trunk, and he's like, an elephant is this long tubular thing, and the other one's like, you are totally off. That's not what an elephant, because he's got the body, and the elephant's this huge monstrosity of a being. And the other one's feeling the tail. And he's like, no, you're both wrong. It's like this flappy thing, fluffy, fairy, flappy thing. And each one of them would go to their grave saying, you totally don't get what elephants are. You are just so lost. Do your research. That's one of the popular phrases these days. Everyone's telling everyone else, if they don't agree with them, do your research. An elephant is tubular. Do your research. No, an elephant is this huge monstrosity. Do your research. So finding our peace and holding our peace means we have to see things as they truly are, not as the stories we make up, and anything that we say that is other than that every being is a divine expression of that one, and every being has value, and every being is an expression of God, is off the mark. So again, the worst thing we could say and still be in truth would be, that person has lost their way. And say it not from judgment, but in compassion. Let me pray for them to see the truth of their being. Let me pray for them to see the truth of this life that we're living here. If we truly see the divinity in each other, we can only see God. We can only feel love for each other. If we truly see each other for who we are, we can only feel love. It's the only possibility. And where that starts is in loving ourselves. And I've done that test on myself over and over again. When I'm in judgment, when I'm talking about another person, politician, public person, someone I know, whatever, when I go to that place where I'm in judgment, every single time when I do the test, and I go, how are you feeling about yourself right now, Gregory? The answer is always, not so good. And when I can come back to feeling good about myself, when I can come back to feeling fully loved for myself, everyone else looks so beautiful. Everything else looks so amazing. Even my enemies, even those that despitefully use me, even those that curse me. They look absolutely beautiful. So when we live in the truth of our own being, we can see the truth of everyone else. And so we can say that when someone is calling you out of your name, when someone is talking badly about you, when someone is cursing you, when someone is despitefully using you, they have forgotten who they are. They don't know who you are because they don't know who they are. It takes the sting out of it when you realize they have no idea who they are. So therefore, how could they possibly know who I am? For me, because I've dedicated my whole life to loving people and being of service, and when I'm out somewhere outside of the church and someone really looks at me askance and really doesn't see the truth of me and really looks at me with scorn or something like that, or looks at me like in driving, right? Someone just this week, I'm driving and someone was behind me and I guess I wasn't going fast enough for them, and I could just see the disgust on this person's face in my rearview mirror, and oh my God, this person. And I'm like, wow, I'm a divine being. Don't you know that? I would be blessing you right now. You could be receiving a blessing right now, and instead you're cursing me. But it's all it is. People forget who they are. And our job is not to judge, condemn. Our job is to help them remember. And the first job is for us to remember who we are. Then the other part becomes really easy. It becomes really easy. When we fully love ourselves and know our divinity, we'll see it in everyone. Everyone. No exceptions. We will see it in every person. And then, my friends, we can truly hold our peace. We can truly hold our peace because we know who we are, we know who everyone else is, we know that God is all there is, and we know our power. We know that everything is working together for our good. And we can get out of trying to be fighting everyone, and we can say, how can I contribute to more love? How can I contribute to more peace? How can I be the presence of love and the presence of peace? And how can I be an absolute reminder to every person of their beauty and their magnificence and their divinity? That is the invitation today, my friends. Thank you so much for listening today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. So good to be with you all. It's kind of fun being here on Wednesdays, right? Because it's a little smaller. We get a chance afterward to engage a little bit. So for now, I'm going to invite, I know Vicki very well, but somehow right in that moment, it was like, who is this person? Vicki is our usher for today. I'm going to invite Vicki to come forward and let us do our conscious giving. Yeah. How fun that is, right? That's also when we, hold on for just a second, Vicki, Vicki, hello, Vicki, come back. I like your enthusiasm. We want to bless our gift first. We want to do our I love it. You're ready to go. So we have so many different ways to give. It's going away. We still have so many ways to give. You can give through text, 424-379-3733. I still remember. We're having some technical things going on. You can go to the website, redondocsl.org/donate, or you can use the QR code. Just point your phone. A little link will come up. Click that link, and you can donate that way. So thank you for the ways that you give. And, of course, if you're online, you can also send a check, if that works for you. 907 Nob Hill Avenue, Redondo Beach, California, 90277. Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you so much. And let us now go to our affirmation. You can hold your gift in your hand or hold your hands to your heart as we say this affirmation together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vicki. Go. Let's give Vicki a hand. She's stepping in today. So we'll just take a moment for the offering to take place, and maybe contemplate if you have a question, or maybe contemplate if some insight or awareness came forth to you on the subject we talked about today that you want to share with the group, or maybe you have a prayer request, and we'll have that prayer request as well. We're going to let the offering finish, and then we'll come to you, Ann, in just a moment there. But I really do appreciate all of you being here today, and it's so important these times to come together in community. And whatever the year would be, whatever the day would be, I could still say that it's so good to come together in community, because it's been such a beautiful part of my life these last 30 years, going on 31 years now, that I've come into a Center for Spiritual Living and been part of spiritual community. So much better than when I was walking this path alone, when I was doing my meditations and all that, but no one else. I had no one else to talk to about it. I didn't know that anyone else was even, I thought like, okay, I'm just this weird guy. No one else is doing this. And then when I found Centers for Spiritual Living, I thought, oh my God, there's a whole world of people who are also on this path with me. So thank you for being on the journey with me, and it's my pleasure to be on a journey with you. And let's bring the mic to Ann down here.
We actually have an online question. I'd like to start off with that. Sheena D wants some guidance on how can we state the facts and stay in the truth while feeling hurt.
State the facts and stay in the truth while feeling hurt. That's a great question. And one of the ways we do that is we need to know the difference between facts and truth. Right? So facts is an appearance, right? That's what appears right now, and it's a fact, but it's not an eternal truth. It means facts are always temporary, right? So we always, I feel, want to be truthful. It's one of the traps we can get into in a teaching like Science of Mind, because we are so positive, is that we can forget how to tell the truth about the facts. Like when I talk to community sometimes, or even like a community meeting, if there's some little elephant in the middle of the room, no one wants to talk about it because it's like we want to be positive. And I say, just say what's going on. But don't add all the interpretations and judgments to it. It's okay to tell the truth about what's going on, but the thing is we start to add our opinion and our interpretation and all this, and then we start to build it into something way bigger than it is, right? So if there really is a dead elephant sitting, or a dead hippopotamus sitting in the middle of the sanctuary here, by all means say, hey, there's a hippopotamus and a dead hippopotamus right there, and it smells really bad, right? But then don't make up a story that, well, it must have been these people that put it there, and it must have been this, and it must have been that, and the world's going to hell because there's a dead hippopotamus there, and that goes to show you how bad people are, because, don't add a whole story to it. Just say there's a dead hippopotamus sitting there and it smells. And then we can say, okay, yeah, that's true. Let's see what we can do about this. Okay, let's get some rope or whatever, or a hydraulic lift, or, you know what I mean? Then we can just deal with the situation. So we don't have to be in denial about the facts, but don't add a whole other layer of story to the facts. And, with our emotions, absolutely. We are emotional feeling beings. It becomes spiritual bypass if we start to say, like I'm feeling ill right now because this thing smells so much that's sitting here, this dead hippopotamus. It's spiritual bypass to say, well, no, you don't. You don't need to. You're whole, perfect, and complete. No, right now, I am whole, perfect, and complete. And right now, I'm feeling ill. That smell, I'm feeling ill. Yeah, we totally acknowledge what is. We totally acknowledge where we are. We totally acknowledge the facts. Just don't add all that other layer to it. The facts usually are something we can deal with. Okay, we need to deal with this. Let's deal with it. Without fanfare, without drama, let's just deal with it. No blaming, no shaming. Just deal with it. Thank you for that question. That's a beautiful question. Let's go to Ann.
First of all, I'm glad that you're so well qualified and have 30 years of experience, unlike certain recent presidential appointments. We can come here to somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. Now, the other thing I want to say...
No judgments in there, right?
based on my experience of your talk today, what I realized, I'd like to acknowledge Lydia, who brought the other people at the table a small gift in your Thursday class. That's just Something almost everyone can do. I think she brought us a date and a prune.
Oh.
You know? So what I'm saying is, when you get thinking about it, there's very small things you can do to lift people up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? Let's go to Lydia. Let's go to Lydia. Right here, Lydia, and then we'll go over there to Eileen. Right there, right behind you, right there.
I want to acknowledge Anne, right?
Yes.
Anne, that I don't know if it was the same day. Yeah, it was the same day. I brought little things for my for the people at my table, and I was feeling very bad. I was having a hard day, and she got up and she said, "Can I give you a hug?" That was another little thing that she did that it really made a difference. And it made me think, you know, that sometimes, just like she said, everybody can do a little thing, and sometimes you receive things from people that you least expected.
Yes.
Yeah, I never
beautiful.
expected that from her.
Yes, it's
You know,
beautiful.
that was such a kind act that she did.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's also like we were in the same how do you say, like we were the same, right? Like
In the same group?
Same energy. No, same
okay.
energy, you know? Yeah. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Eileen over here. Thank you so much, Lydia. Yeah, there's so much we can do to contribute to the well-being of this world and our fellow beings. I love that Eileen and Bill are here. It's so good to see you two here.
I have two requests. One is for Larry Foreman, who had a game console fall on his head in some big box store, and he had to have like 2 vertebrae removed and everything. He's doing so well that it still hurts.
We'll
The
bring him
lawyers
into-
are fighting against it, and so
Yes, we'll
we
bring
should-
him into prayer.
and
Yeah.
also for him to get at least $500,000 in settlement. And they're fighting over it. But I want to declare with everybody that he's going to get it, and the healing too.
Larry Foreman?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Very good. Well, while we're on prayer requests, are there any other prayer requests? And then we'll come back to more. Go ahead, Eileen.
Just one more for me. I've always known that you work on something, you treat and move your feet, and I've gotten healings on everything. But all of a sudden, I had 2 different oral surgeons saying I have to lose about 6 of my teeth, which sounds like it's about all I have left. And I had this block about, it's just my teeth. And I thought, wait a minute, your teeth can get healed. You don't have to have them pulled.
Let's bring that into prayer as well. Yeah. Yeah.
That my teeth can get healed, and
All right.
they are healed.
Let's see if there are any other prayer requests? Because we can do that right now. We got Sue right down here in the front that has a prayer request.
Thank you. My prayer right now is for the environment and all the wildlife. I feel all the environment here in the United States is very vulnerable, and all the people who are losing their jobs.
So prayer for the people losing their jobs and prayer for the environment. Are there any other prayer requests? Let's go to Bettina over here. And I'm going to start writing some of these down because, hang on for 1 second. Give me one administrative second here to... And what was the last? The environment. And people losing jobs. Okay. All right. I got it all now. All right. Bettina.
Okay,
Let's go. Bettina's got the mic right now. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say that last time you prayed for someone, it came in fruition, so thank you.
You're very welcome.
So it's working. And so I would love to pray for the people who got affected by the fires. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Sorry.
Yes, yes. And let's go over to Lydia here because she had one too.
prayer for Linda, the lady that was going to have the painting class.
Oh, yes, sure, sure.
She has a problem with her eyes.
All right, we'll pray for her.
Thank you.
Any other prayer requests? Kenneth?
Prayer request is that the wonderful experience we're all having on Sundays continues here at the center. It's just fantastic. The answered prayers, the prayers that are put up, and what's happening here in this Redondo Beach.
Yes.
So I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you, Kenneth, and good to see you after coming off of your surgery, and here you are, and looking good, looking good. And Ann, did you have a?
I want to make a prayer request for my girlfriend, Mary. She passed away 2 days ago, so she made her transition. She was a 20-year member of this church.
Mary Sue. Is that Mary Sue?
Mary Sue.
Yes, I saw that yesterday.
Thank you. So just a kind word for her and her belief in everything that this church represents.
Yes.
It's made a big difference for me, and we both love this church. So that's it.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm not sure I ever met her in person, but she had friended me on Facebook, and that's how I found out yesterday. I saw her daughter had posted something, and it's amazing these connections we make through social media, because I felt like I knew her a little bit, even though I don't know if I've ever met her in person. Yeah, thank you for that. And Ann, you had a prayer request as well?
Well, just a prayer of great gratitude, because suffering can lessen when you really know this
Yes.
truth.
Yes, yes. Any other prayer requests? Ernest Holmes said there's no one that believes in the power of prayer more than we do. We are some praying folks around here, because we know prayer works, so we love to pray. All right, right back there.
You know, I would like to add a request. My friend Christina, who she's a young lady, she's 42, and she found her way out of a bad relationship recently, and she'll move into her first condo that she bought for herself at the beginning of this month, and maybe just a prayer of strength for her, that she continues on her path knowing how strong she is, and that we're all holding her up.
Yes, I love it. Yes, and we are all holding her up. Any other prayer requests today? Glad I got my iPad out. I'd like to think I could remember all those, but you know. Eileen has a prayer request right up here, Vincent. No, we'll get it into the mic.
I just wanted to add something that I often forget about, is that if you're having some kind of physical pain, if you focus really intently on it, which is what you want to do the opposite of it, if you just focus and focus and focus, it's like you're hypnotizing yourself, and the pain just becomes sensation, and it's better. I just remember that right now.
Yes, thank you. Any other prayer requests? All right. Well, we'll include everyone in the prayer. How about that? We won't leave anything untouched and undone. So let's enter into prayer. Let's enter into that deep knowing that the presence of God is all that there is, that at every point of existence is this presence of love and wholeness and harmony, regardless of any appearances to the contrary, that the essence of all that is God. The essence of all that is divine and sacred. That there is a whole, perfect, complete life, and that one life that is whole, perfect, and complete is the very life that is living itself as each one of us. And so I know that it is my very life and being. My life is a divine expression of that one whole, perfect, complete life that is God. That is the truth of each one of us here at the service, each one of us watching the service online, that each one is a unique divine expression of wholeness, perfection, completeness. That is our nature. I know that it is also the life of everyone that we are in prayer for this morning, that each one is an absolute unique divine expression of the one. So it is in that consciousness that I speak my word this morning, and I start with Larry, knowing that Larry is well, that he is whole, perfect, and complete, and that anything that he needs financially to remedy his situation, to allow him to go forward and have the most full, vibrant life is his right now. There is a divine order taking place. There's a divine timing taking place. There's a divine intelligence and love taking place that is supplying everything that he needs. And his whole body temple is right now in the vibration of wholeness and harmony. I know that all is well with Larry Foreman. I know that our earth, our environment, that we are learning right now that infinite intelligence and wisdom is moving through all of us so that we can see our impact on the planet. And in seeing our impact on the planet, that we are moved into right action to do those things and to live in such harmony with our planet that the earth begins to show forth its beautiful vitality, its beautiful health. And so I know that we are in this ecosystem participating in the most beautiful way so that our planet is just rejoicing in the ways that we are relating to the planet. I know that all those right now who are losing jobs, that there is comfort there, that there is love at the center of their being, and that there is, because the source of their good is the one source that is God, that some new opportunity is opening for them that is even greater than what they were doing. Some greater possibility is being opened. So it doesn't matter what the reason was or whether we agree with the reason or any of that. What we know is that God is always doing something good for us and through us. And so this one power and presence is doing something really beautiful and good through each one of them. And they are comfort, they are supported, they are upheld, and goodness is following them all of their days. The people affected by the fires, I know the same, that in all that comes forth from that, there's some gift for each person that emerges from that, some greater gift that would not have been there had the fires not occurred. And so I know that healing is taking place, that comfort is there, that love is there, that they are being supported by others, they are being supported by the government, they are being supported in every way. And this new life that is emerging for them is emerging with such beauty, such awesomeness. And their joy just comes forward because their joy was never dependent upon their home or anything else in the external world. And so there is this peace and this joy that passes all human understanding that is abiding in them right now. I know that Linda, right now, that there is perfect healing, there is perfect wholeness, that anything that is in appearance right now is not the truth of her being. And so I know that wholeness is revealed and expressed, and her body temple is expressing beautiful vibrancy. I know that our Sunday experience and all the experiences that we're having here at the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, as we just have so much vibrancy and energy and life and newness, that just continues because there's a divine idea in the mind of God. Simply was waiting for the right time for everything to converge, and it was always in divine timing. And now that everything is converged, just more good and more good and more good are unfolding as this community continues its evolution into the greater and greater and the greater of its story. I know that Mary Sue, I know that her soul soars. I know that all the love and the joy that she brought to others in this life, that she is still bringing that because the veil is thin and there is no separation. Life is eternal and there is really nowhere to go because it is all consciousness. And so we are still in touch with her for the many lives that she touched in this community. We are still in relationship with her. We are still in communion with her. And I know that her soul's journey, as she continues her soul's journey, is filled with peace, is filled with love, that she is greeted on the other side with so much love. And I just bless her soul journey, knowing that she is free, she is surrounded by love. I know that all is well right where Mary Sue is. And just a prayer of gratitude, giving thanks for being in this truth, and being in this truth and how we can see things so clearly that our life unfolds with such beauty and grace, regardless of any appearances to the contrary. So I just stand in that gratitude for all the goodness. I know that Christina, in coming out of her relationship and moving into her new condo, that there's all kinds of goodness that comes forth. This is a divine idea in the mind of God. This is a divine unfolding, and even greater than all the things that she can think of that makes her life better now, being out of that relationship and having her new home. Even greater than that is what is unfolding for her. And I know that she is guided by divine wisdom, divine power, divine intelligence to have the most amazing experience in her new life. And so I am just so grateful for all of this. I also know for each one of us, whatever is our prayer, whatever is our intention for this life, it is absolutely being fulfilled. That each one of us who has that higher intention for our lives, higher intention for our world, that it is absolutely being fulfilled. It is a divine idea, and contained within that divine idea is everything required for its fulfillment. And so therefore it is being fulfilled right here and right now as I speak my word. And so I just enter into, and I invite each one to enter with me into the deepest gratitude for this truth, the deepest gratitude for the power that is right now making it all so, and great, great gratitude for the manifestation of all that we have declared here today. We stand in gratitude and we just release this word unto that immutable law, that creative medium that seizes upon my word and makes it so, makes it real. I let it be, and we establish it together with the words, and so it is. All right. Well, I think we're just about at the end of our time, which, what a great way to end with prayer. Thank you all so much again for being here. Keep coming back, because this is spiritual practice we're doing here. To show up in spiritual community, that's spiritual practice. That's keeping you on the path and keeping me on the path. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, all of you online. Many blessings on your day and your week. See you Sunday. Thank you. Thank you.